Good morning students and good day students. Myself Dr. Aruchamy Rajini from the Department of Computer Science and I belong to the Nallamuthu Kaunda Mahalingam College, Pollachi. Today's lecture is about string functions in C. So what is a string? The basic definition of a string we'll see. What is a string? A string is a sequence of characters that is treated as a single data item. So anything which we give within your double quotes will be considered as a string. For example, in the down part you can see printf. Printf is a statement used for your printing your any information which is given within your double quotes. So within your double quotes we are given as well done. You have to make a note of it that in well done there is a space and exclamation mark, which means both will be printed there. So if I want my double quotes also to be printed, so for that the second example is given there where we can make use of a backslash. So backslash is used for printing the double quotes also. So there's a difference between the two examples there. Anything which is printed within your double quotes will be printed as it is. Let it be a blank space or your exclamation mark. Now if you want your double quotes to be printed, we make use of a backslash. Now next one is your declaring and initializing string variables. We'll see the first example. I'll start with an example for your better understanding. Char, city, and within your square brackets you have got 10. Char stands for your data type. Already you'll be knowing your data type, int, float, double. Similar to that, char is a data type. City stands for your string name, and square brackets, anything which you give within your square brackets, it's an array and it represents the size. So here the information is city is an array name and the size of that will be 10. So that is your declaration. Now we'll see the format of it. The format of it will be the same, which means char, instead of city it will be your string name, and instead of that time it will be size. So the next one is char, city name, size, which means size is a number of characters in the string name. So the square bracket, anything given within your square brackets is your array, and that tells you the number of characters. Now we'll see for example for initialization. The first example, char, city of 9. So which tells you that city is a string name and it consists of 9 characters. The number of it consists of 9 characters, which means New York will be stored into it. So New York will be stored and has a separate character by character, since we have mentioned it has char. So NEWYORK will be stored along with the space. Now in the next example, the same thing, I can separate and write it also. Individual characters can also be taken, but explicitly I mentioned has /0. This /0 depicts your null terminate, a null character. It depicts your null character. Now I'll show you the next how it is being represented. You can see the next way the representation of the two things is being presented over here, and always one point you have to remember, all things starts with a 0. So starts with 0 and the number of characters which is represented is 9, so it will be 8. From 0 to 8, and this is a representation. Individually it will be representation including your blank space and ending with your null terminator, which is your null character. Next one. So next is your size. The size we can omit also. The first one we have seen with the size. You can see in the square brackets are given as 8, 9 and all. Here the size is being omitted and the word will be taken as it is. This is one example. The second example over here, which you can see the second one, char, str of 8. So the 8 is the number of characters which it can take. But the number string constant is only 4. GOOD is only 4. So what happens to the rest of it? That's a question mark which you have in your mind. For that the answer is given in your table format. The rest of it is filled with your null characters. Now the next question is, you'll be having a question. If suppose the size is less, what happens? That is a depiction which is given clear down. Char str of 3 is equal to good. So 3 sizes, the size of str is 3, the number of values is 4. That is good is 4. Now what happens? It is invalid. It is wrong. So that is one depiction which will be given. There has a cross mark, which means it is wrong. Next one, if you say the next one of a char of 5 and this thing, here you'll be saying everything is correct. This is 5 and this is 4. But what it is wrong here is, do not separate declaration and initialization. So that is the meaning of this. Both are wrong. The reason over here is, do not separate initialization from declaration. So this is the main thing you are supposed to have it in your mind. Now we are coming to the most important topic, string handling functions. For your string handling functions, the main header file which is needed is string.h. So string.h is used for your string handling or string manipulation functions. The functions over here are strcat, which means concatenating two strings. Concatenating means joining two strings. strcmp, which means comparing two strings. strcpy, which means copies one string over another. strlength, which means finding the length of the strings. So these are your string handling functions. Now you see the first one, stringcat. Stringcat, which means concatenating or joining two strings. With an example I'll give you here. First example, part 1, part 2 and part 3 are 3 string variables and it has got the value as very, good and bad. You can make a note of it. After very there is a space and after good also there is a space. So how it will be represented is, you'll have a arrange format over there in a representation of very and good. Now so we have got a representation of very is given like that and good also is given. Now bad it is given as. So always after a space, since we have given a space for very, after very there is a space and ended with a null character, this is the representation. After good there is a space, so that after that you will have a null character. But for your bad there is no space, so it will be given as it is. Now the statements over here, 2 statements we will consider. strcat part 1 comma part 2, which means part 1 and part 2 both are being joined together. We get the answer as very good, which means the space will be coming in between. The next one, strpat part 1 comma part 3, which means part 1 is very and part 3 is bad. When you combine it up, since there's a space, it will be given as very bad. Now the last one, this is another example, str part 2 comma morning, which is a string constant, that is also possible. Here we have seen all string variables. Here we are seeing as a string constant, that also you can join it up and it joins it from your null character. From your null character it joins it up. So this is your answer for it. Now next one, second function, string compare, strcmp, comparing two strings. Now for example, I have taken 2 strings over there. Now both the strings are compared. This is my string 1, rom is my string 1, ram is my string 2. Both are being compared. First r and r is being compared. As it is same, it will not be considered. Now the next one, O and O is being compared. Now the ASCII value of O is minus with the ASCII value of A, which means comparison. There's a comparison being done and the ASCII value of the being taken there of O and A is taken. For O it is 111 minus, for A it is 97, you get 14, which is your positive number, which indicates that ROM is greater than RAM. So which means string 1 is greater than string 2. Now we come for the second example, strcmp their compared with there. The till there it is same. Now the next one, I and er is being compared. Same thing, ASCII value of I is compared with ASCII value of R. If you take the ASCII value of I, it is 105 minus 114 is the value of R. When you minus it up, you get it as a negative. On the top it was positive, here it is negative. So which gives you, states that this string their is less than there, which means string 1 is less than string 2. So which means that if it is equal, if both the strings are equal, you get it as a 0, else there is a numeric difference. The numeric difference are of 2 things, can be positive and negative. The positive one we have seen on the top, which means string 1 is greater than string 2. If it is negative, it is string 1 is less than string 2. Now we'll go for the next function. String copy assigns the contents of string 2 to string 1. So contents of string 2 is passed to string 1. So whatever the contents is there, all that will be passed over here. Now the first example we are given has Delhi, which is a string constant, and city is a string variable. Whatever the contents are there, all that will be given to your city. That is your string variable. The same thing over here, DEF is overriding ABC. DEF is overriding ABC. Same thing, next one over here, city 2 is overriding city 1. So which means copying the contents from one string to another. That is the meaning of your assigning the contents of string 2 to string 1. The next function, string length. It counts and returns the number of characters in the strings. Whatever the characters are, including your space, it will be counted and given you the answer. Now S1 is equal to good morning. There is a space in between good and morning, and you take the function of its string length of S1. When you print the output of it, you get the answer as 12, including your space. It is counted. If you count and see, the space is also taken. So the counting ends at the end of your null character. Your null character is /0. Always remember your null character is /0. Next functions are, now all this is your major. Now this you are going to other string functions, which you'll be seeing here. In the other string function, the same function where there we have seen as string copy, here it also string copy, but in between this there is an n. So in between this n, remember string copy, string length, string cat, all that has got 2 arguments. But all these 3 functions have got having 3 arguments. So 2 arguments and 3 arguments are there. Now if you see in the first one, it is comparing, that is copying from string 2 to string 1. We will see what is string 1, S1, S2. So S1 is your target string, S2 is your source string, N is your number of characters. The number of characters to be copied, either to be copied or to be compared or to be concatenated. These are the 3 things, either copying, comparing and concatenating. Next we have got 3 functions over here, which is locating the substring in a string. From, if you want a substring to be located, from that we can take it up. Next one, example. Now this is a very simple example. Char S1 of 20, char S2 of 20, which means S1, S2 and S3 stands for your string name, and the value of that, the string constant is given there, beginner's book, beginners. Now how is the representation? It is shown over here. This representation is shown over here. It has taken from 0 to 18, we have taken it up. Now the first one, strn copy S1 comma S2, S1 comma S2. So copying from string S2 to S1. S2 is your source and S1 is your target, and 9, the number of characters 9 is being taken. So it starts from 0, ends with 9, so the answer will be beginners. That's the answer which is being displayed over here. Next one, string compare. Now when you compare it up, we are going to compare S1 and S2. Your S1 you have got beginners. So from S1 you take it up, it's only beginners. Same thing. Another S1, S2 you take it also beginners. Both are being compared, 8 characters. We are talking only about the first 8 characters starting from 0 to 8. When you compare it up, it will be equal. So the answer for that is given as 0. The next one, when you are going to concatenate it up, how many characters you are going to concatenate is 4, which means S1 is hazited from S3. S3 you are going to take only 4 characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 4 characters will be taken and concatenated, which means it will be added at the end of it, and the answer will be like this. Beginner's book in C. So it is adding, concatenating, which means adding at the end of it. Next one. Now for example, I am going to see for your next 3 functions, which takes only your 2 parameter functions. All these are your 2 parameter functions. Now I have given you a string there, S1, which is having C programming. This is the representation. For your better understanding, this is the representation which is given over here. It starts from 0, ends with 12, and down I have given you a representation indicating, the red color indicates is a reverse, counting from the backwards is a reverse representation. Now the first one, str S1 comma C. Now where is C in your string S1? That is your answer, that you are supposed to answer it up. Next one, str S1 comma Ram. Ram is a 3 letters. Where is this Ram? From the beginning. From the beginning when you calculate it up. So the same thing, strchr S1 comma M. S1 comma, which tells you from the first you are supposed to make a note of it, and where is your M. So when you note it up, you can see M where it is. Then strrchr from the reverse, that is from the last you are going to calculate it up. Now this is what I am going to say. So when you say S1 comma C, from S1 if you take it up, you get the answer as 0, which is your first position. Now S1 comma Ram. So where is your Ram? It is in your 6th position. So it is given. Now where is your M? It is M is in your 8th position. You are supposed to take on the top of it. So it's your 8th position. Now this alone, take the red color side which is given there, which means it is from the last occurrence. When you take from the last occurrence, it is 3. So this is the way how you are supposed to locate a substrings from a string. Locating of a substring from a string. Now, what are the points which you are supposed to remember in so far the lecture which I have taken it up? String constants are enclosed in double quotes. Anything given within your double quotes will be considered as a string. Next, when you are using string manipulation function, the header file string.h. So far we have seen all the functions over here. It's a job of string manipulation functions. So for all those functions, string.h, this header file is a must to be needed. When you are using string functions for copying or concatenating, for copying, what did I say? String strcpy and string concatenate strcat. For both the thing, the target string should have enough space, because you're copying or comparing, should have enough space to store the resulting string. Thank you, students. Hope this session was quite useful for you. Thank you.